Tuesday and Wednesday nights, they say, are for the big boys of Europe. And on Thursday, the small boys, they call them, play in the UEFA Europa League. Welcome, this is the arena. Yes, let's talk about the two of Europe's big boys who played on Tuesday nights, Chelsea and Real Madrid. You already know how that one ended. Yes, 1-1 was the scoreline of that one. It's one of the things we would be taking a look at on today's show. And on Wednesday, we have yet another big boys of Europe taking part in the other semi-final game that is expected to go down on Wednesday. Yes, by Paris Saint-Germain and, of course, Manchester City. All of this we will be taking a look at on today's show. The Champions League is not the only thing on the table. Yes, you know, it's always a packed show when we get on the arena. Yes, I can tell you there are other things to talk about. But why not we get into it when we go on this quick break and return from it. We'll definitely talk about all those stories that have emanated from the world of sports. I'll be your host on the show today. My name is Jidechi Chidiezie. Yes, welcome back. This is still the arena. Yes, if you're just joining, the show is about to take off in full gear. And in the studio with me is Joba Ogumole. Joba, a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me once again. It's good to be back again to talk about what we know best, which is sports. Definitely
what we know best. Let's start off with the one that is happening in Nigeria. The sports minister on a visit to Ogun State spoke with the Ogun State governor, and he made a statement that caught the interest of everybody in the sporting fraternity. He says the National Sports Festival now has a new bidding template. Before we talk about that one, let me first read in the words of the sports minister what exactly he said while he was right there at Ogun State. He said there is a new template for the NSF. That's what the sports minister says. Yes, he also adds that the new template will have a 360 geopolitical spread. He says this spread will be introduced such that we move it for the Northwest zone to bid this year, and then 2 years later it goes to the Southwest, and so that it moves that way, it gets to move around the country. That's what the sports minister is saying. Joba, do you actually think this is a good way to go, considering that this year we had Delta, Edo actually hosted. Next year we are having Delta, and the sports minister is saying, going forward it will not be so. We would have it in a way that the states that would be states from a different region altogether.
Yeah, I think it's actually a very, very good idea. But the problem I have with it, such formats, is this: what if states in the geopolitical zone is actually not buoyant enough, like ready enough to host the tournament, to host the competition, to host the events? What will happen? This is actually the template also FIFA has been following for the World Cup bidding process. So it's really, really a good thing. I think it promotes infrastructure, sports in different geopolitical zones of Nigeria. But the problem I just have is this: if it is going to, let's say it's going to the Northwest end zone now, what if probably maybe Kano or Katsina, or I don't know if they are in Northwest or not, is what if they are actually not ready to host such events like that? What will now happen to, does it go to another geopolitical zone, or they force someone who is actually not ready to host it? But overall, I think it's actually a brilliant idea. I'm just concerned about the financial capabilities of the states.
So, in other words, you're saying it's a good move that he's making. It's a good move that the sports ministry is making, and we should go on with it.
Yeah, it's a good move. It promotes sports generally across all the states in Nigeria, and
because I mean, even it talks about the fact that this year it was Edo, and next year you're giving it to Delta. People thought that it should have gone to Kaduna.
Yeah, but that's what I'm also saying. Kaduna, I doubt if Kaduna actually has the finances to actually to host an event like that. Don't forget that it's not just football, or let's say a football competition, or it's a competition that cuts across all sports. So you are welcoming about 10,000 athletes to your state. So it's actually more than just a sport. So you have to consider the infrastructure, accommodation, all those things. You have to put them into consideration before actually saying, okay, you can host this kind of events.
Okay, now let's move on from the sports minister and the sports festival and talk about some tennis. There's some stories emanating from Wimbledon, the organizers of Wimbledon. I'll leave you to that one, Joba. What's it about?
Yeah, from 2022, there won't be the Manic Monday again. And the Manic Monday is actually because of this reason. For the first week of Wimbledon, we don't get to see action on the mid Sunday, which is the first Sunday. So from 2022, there will be action on the mid Sunday, which means the traditional break that they have. They don't play games on the mid Sunday normally before. It will be scrapped from next week, and they said because the reason is this. There is technology right now that could help the grasshoppers, that could help make the players to play on grass each day. You understand? Because I think the reason why they don't play on the mid Sunday is because of probably maybe they don't want to make the grass because of the grass. But they said there's a technology for it right now, and I think because of the coronavirus pandemic and all that brought a couple of changes to this. So we will be having consecutive tennis games from Monday, the first day, to the last.
And when you talk about consecutive games, I think that's where I would personally have a problem. Wouldn't this affect the players themselves?
No, you know, on a normal day, in the normal tournament, normal format, when there is actually no games on the mid Sunday, the round of 16 is actually played for both men and for both women. They are actually played on Mondays, which is why they call it Manic Monday.
Yep.
Now, if games now take place on mid Sunday, that means you could probably schedule some round of 16 games on Sundays for both men and women, then some round of 16 games for both men and women on Mondays. And most of the times on Manic Monday, you actually can't finish the games because of probably rain and all that. So the games actually run through until Tuesday. So I think it's actually a very, very good development.
Okay, we'll watch and see how that one pans out at the next Wimbledon. And in the meantime, how about we take this quick one? Yes, today is April the 28th. Let's go down history lane and see the things that happened in the world of sports on this very day. Okay, let's move on and talk some other things. Talk about Eyimba, who are expected to be taking part in the CAF Confederation Cup later today. They play Orlando Pirates, and it's a do or die in that one. 3 points or nothing.
Yeah. If they actually don't win the game, it's simple. They are out of the competition, so they really need to go for it, and not just to win. They need to win by at least to go margin, or win by not conceding, which is probably a one new draw, 1-0 win will be enough for them. But I think they should go more. They should go for more than that, and it's really a tricky opposition in Orlando Pirates. Orlando Pirates currently leads the table. I think they are currently
top of the table.
Yeah, with 8 points, and also so they just need to come here and play for a draw. And funny enough, Eyimba are winless in their previous games against the South African side. And I think the last time they clashed in Aba, that was in 2006. They played a 0-0 draw. So a repeat of that game will probably will be bloody for Eyimba, or will be a good one for Orlando Pirates. But I expect Fatah Omor's side to actually go out all out and claim the win that will see them through to the next stage.
Okay, the first leg we saw Eyimba go down right there in South Africa. Do we actually see Eyimba bringing in the home factor? Orlando Pirates, we saw how the home factor was very instrumental for them when Eyimba went down to South Africa. Good for Eyimba, they were able to secure playing that game in Aba. We know it was almost taken away from Aba. Do we actually see the Aba factor coming into the game today? Yeah,
I think, as you said earlier, it was really important that the game had to hold in Aba, because from what I heard before, they were planning to play the game in Ghana or I think in Benin, but the COVID task force actually cleared them to host the game. So it's really a very important thing for Eyimba. If you look at the games they've won in this competition, they've all won their home games. So their home form has been key to them. That's why they even have a chance, because they've lost all their 3 away games. So that's why they still have a chance. And I think other sides in the group also have failed to capitalize on their shaky form in the group. So I think that's why they still have a chance. And I think if they can continue from putting the performance against they did against Al Ahly Benghazi and ESSC, I think they will get the maximum points. I don't know if actually Orlando Pirates can score all that, but I think Eyimba should have enough to actually get the win that will see them through to the next stage.
Okay, so I'm looking at the table right now. You mentioned Al Ahly Benghazi and of course ESSC. Orlando Pirates are placed at the top of the table with 9 points as it stands. They've been able to win 2 of their 5 games and drew the other 3. Al Ahly Benghazi were able to get a win over Eyimba, and they got 7 points in the next. They currently have 7 points thanks to that 3 points they got over Eyimba. Eyimba third right now, 6 points, and of course ESSC are 5th at the moment. You have 5 points, and as it stands, anybody from this group can qualify. Now, taking a look at the other game that is also going down, expected to go down at the same time, Eyimba and Orlando will be playing ESSC and Al Ahly Benghazi. Do you actually think anything from this game could affect the one that Eyimba will be taking part in against Orlando Pirates?
No, I think this actually group is actually well set right now. I think whatever the results it is we get in from the Eyimba versus Orlando Pirates game, one of the Eyimba or Orlando Pirates
must go away.
Will probably crash out, and one will actually qualify.
So it's a case of the both games, win your game or you get knocked out.
So that's just what I feel about this 2 games going down tonight.
Okay, let's end off talking about Eyimba by putting a scoreline on it. How do you think this one is going to pan out?
I think Eyimba, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go for a 2-1 victory for Eyimba. I don't know if that will be enough.
And that would not be enough
for them.
Okay, 2-1 victory. Joba says that one would be ending. Let's go on this quick break, very short one. When we get back from it, we'll talk about the games that went down in the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday night.
from the farm, it good for body. No chemical at all, this now real banga. No more wahala or pandy, washy. Just put on for fire and your food done ready. Everybody follow me, chop banga, hey, banga, extra. Make you follow me, chop banga cook don easy. Banga palm fruit where they come out. Put them inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup where you like. And other food them like rice, beans, and even yam. Now Pali Agro Product Limited then they manufacture them. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga for make your food.
Welcome back. This is still the arena. Yes, of course, here we get to talk about stories emanating from the world of sports. Let's talk about the one that emanated from Europe yesterday, ended 1 apiece between Real Madrid and Chelsea. Yes, the first leg of that UEFA Champions League semi-finals, and it ended not in favor of anybody, but Chelsea fans right now would be saying I ended on their favor. Meanwhile, if you're just joining me, this is Joba Ogunwale. We've been doing this together. Joba, let's talk about that game of last night. Like I said, Chelsea fans right now will be saying they hold the better advantage going into the second leg. Do you actually agree with that?
Yeah, they actually have the advantage. Although I don't think in this era of COVID-19, where fans are not allowed into the stadium, I don't think away goal really matters right now. But I still think also that they would have been disappointed with the results yesterday, because Chelsea did a lot to actually win the game, especially if you consider that Timo Werner missed an early chance where he should have just finished in. I think Christian Pulisic actually sets him up for that game, for the opener, but he actually hit it straight at Thibaut Courtois. So I think they were the dominant team yesterday at the Di Stefano Stadium. So no doubt about it. If you listen to Thomas Tuchel's post-match conference, he said he was disappointed that they couldn't take the chance. They had the most shots. They had the most shot on target. Real Madrid actually had just one shot on target in that game, and that was the goal from Karim Benzema. But overall, I think Chelsea will be satisfied with the way they played, and they will go into the second leg next week at Stamford Bridge with full confidence.
Full confidence. Let's talk about that second leg that will be going down later on. How do you actually see that one panning out?
Well, given, just as I said earlier, Chelsea would have been disappointed that they didn't actually get the win last night. And given Madrid are likely to have Sergio Ramos, Ferland Mendy, and I think, those two players will be back for them. And Ramos returning is actually key for Madrid. And they will probably have a fitter Eden Hazard, because he played yesterday, but he wasn't able to do much. I think Madrid will also go into the game full of confidence. And this is Madrid now, 13-time European champions, so they've been here so many times. So I think the tie is still delicately poised, and I think it could still go either ways.
Okay, let's talk about the one that is expected to go down tonight. The other semi-final game between Manchester City and Paris Saint-Germain. We see PSG looks like it's a full house for them. Many of their key players are said to be available for that one, and Pep Guardiola would also be looking to get into the finals for the first time since he left Barcelona.
Well, this is actually the clash. Someone said it is the El Clasico because of the two owners of the clubs. But I think it is really going to be a very interesting game, a very entertaining game from both sides. Both sides like to go for it. I will be keen. I'm keen actually on to see how Manchester City will defend against the attacking trio of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe, and Angel Di Maria. I think that will be key for them. And I will also be keen to see. I'll be keen to see how Mauricio Pochettino sets up PSG. Will they go full attack, or will he approach the game competitively. I think that will be key. Games like this in the semi-final, managers tend to take a cautious approach. Like they try to watch caution so they don't like to go out all out, especially when you still have the second leg to play also. But I think it will still be an entertaining game, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Okay, at the press match, the pre-match conference, Guardiola said something that really struck many people. He insisted that the Premier League was more important than the Champions League. Do you actually agree with him, or you think it's just Guardiola playing mind games once again?
In all honesty, I used to say this. I actually believe that the league is actually more difficult to win than the Champions League, because you have to maintain a consistent. You have to be consistent for 38 game week. Whereas in the Champions League, you could be lucky, like referee could actually blow in favor of you and all that.
Could just go
all those things, injuries to your opponents and all that. So I think he's right in a way. But I think given Manchester City has won the title, the Premier League title, 2 times in the last 3 years, I don't really think the Premier League is really important for them right now. I think what Manchester City fans want,
say it's just mind games.
Yeah, what they want is actually the Champions League, and I think though he has actually done well, I'm going to give Guardiola that although he has spent a lot of money, but I still think his time at City will be judged if he actually based on what City
can achieve with the Champions League. Okay, quickly let's go to the fans corner. Yes, see what they said after that one between Chelsea and Real Madrid. When we get back from it, we'll talk about some other things.
Madrid won, Chelsea won. What do you think?
This match, I thought my belly like say Arsenal will carry this league, because I hate Chelsea the way Madrid score 1 goal. That's the correct like this. It feel like go me I change my jersey to Madrid jersey. I wear this one to one Chelsea. We to let them know say this game is not their own.
So it's a tactical match. It's a game of 2 halves in this time now. And it's fair to say that it's a balanced match.
Chelsea won, Madrid won. I believe Chelsea will beat them when they come to my home for England. I'll beat Madrid like 3-1. Because Madrid, he cannot play like Chelsea, because we now Chelsea sell Hazard and the keeper for them. Hazard cannot play anything again. Hazard is not in form again.
I think the game is well composed. I believe 2 teams will try. And normally I know that Chelsea will do better, because I'm a Chelsea fan, I know Chelsea will do more than that, because they are always composed. They get time at a point to see what the opponent will do. So I give kudos for Chelsea.
Different people, different opinions. Well, we'll wait for that one that will be going on later next week between Chelsea and Real Madrid. Meanwhile, let's talk about Arsenal right now. They're in the news right now. Stan Kroenke, the owner of the club, is saying he's staying 100% put, even though fans were saying they wanted him out. And we also, the one that got us interested is the fact that talks of Aliko Dangote, Nigeria's richest man, and of course Africa's richest man, also came up that he could be the possible next owner of the club. But now Kroenke has come out to say, no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still in charge of this club.
Well, I actually don't expect Kroenke to actually sell Arsenal for now. And I actually think this is just a normal year for the Aliko Dangote zone. It's just yearly.
And that's the funny thing about it. Dangote has not actually said anything outright. He's just giving hints that he would love
to buy Arsenal. Yeah. But I actually don't think Stan but is willing to sell right now. And it's not only Dangote that is actually interested right now. There's this Spotify owner, this Swedish guy, along with former Arsenal players, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, and Dennis Bergkamp. They are actually considering making an offer to Stan also. But I don't think he's ready to sell. The family released a statement I think yesterday that they are not considering, they are not ready to entertain any offer right now. I will see how this plays out, but I don't think they'll be selling anytime soon.
So Arsenal fans, I think for now you just have to hold down during the whole Kroenke out thing, because Kroenke is definitely saying he's going nowhere. Joba, let's end the show talking about Nagelsmann, the former RB Leipzig. Well, at this point, I guess we can now call him former RB Leipzig manager. He's officially Bayern Munich's manager. And you look at the Bayern Munich within the kind of firepower they have. They are bringing a coach who was able to achieve so much last season, even this season.
You know, sometimes I just wonder what kind of competition they run in the Bundesliga, because Bayern just cherry pick the best they want. They just get. So I'm really surprised. I won't say I'm surprised, but I just don't think it's actually bodes well for the Bundesliga in general. I think right now you're already looking at Bayern Munich winning the league next season because of the quality and the coach they are bringing in right now. But I think it gives Nagelsmann a chance to actually finally win a trophy. He's still young, just 33 years old. So I think it's really a good appointment for Bayern and also for Nagelsmann.
But it's not a good image it's painting for the league.
For the Bundesliga, yeah.
Okay, it's been a fabulous time on the show, I would say. Yes, I'm talking about all things sports right here on the arena. And as usual, I always say it's always been a pleasure doing this with Joba. Hopefully we'll get to do this again.
Thank you for having me again.
Okay, so until next time, Joba and myself come your way. I would say stay safe, yes. And remember tonight, the one between Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City goes down right there in Europe. Let's see how that one pans out. When it goes down, we'll also get back to talk about it, including the Europa League games that will be going down on Thursday night. Yes, they say Thursday night are for the small boys. Let's see what Manchester United, Arsenal, Sevilla, and of course Villarreal can pull off when they all take on themselves in the Europa League later tomorrow night. Until next time I come your way, I would say ensure you stay safe. Goodbye. My name is Judechi Chideze.
iBrandTV. Business first.